This is a PC game review for Jones in the Fast Lane, released in 1990 by Sierra, and it's like a life sim. You go through life and try and do as well as you possibly can, but it's mixed in with a bit of board game features and stuff. And so at the beginning what you do is you pick how many players you can play alongside. This one I just chose myself. As you can see, there's only 4 characters to choose from, and plenty of ethnic diversity there. And what I would say is I played this once before with a friend, and we had a great time. Here you set your goals and stuff like that, happiness, money, all that sort of stuff. Like how much, how far you do in your career and university and stuff like that. And I played this, as I said, I played this once with my friend, and we had like a great time playing this game. But that was like many moons ago. And so I came back to this expecting like to really enjoy this game and love it, and just basically go through the motions and just be able to say that this is a great game. But you know what? Like, having played it, maybe it's just because it was one player, but I just really didn't enjoy it all that much. It's an early form of sort of life sim, so like there's no sort of great 3D graphics and stuff like that. Here I was taking on Jones, as it were, like the computer opponent, and there's no great graphics. That doesn't really bother me. I kind of liked the form back then, but it's just kind of a little bit too simple, and there's not enough depth to this game. That's the biggest problem. I like the whole style of it, actually. All the buildings and stuff. It's like you go around a board and you have a certain amount of time every week to put towards things. So the first thing you do is you go towards to the employment office and you get a job. You can only get like a really basic job, and because you haven't got any skills or any sort of education or anything like that. So I couldn't even get what was that one now? That was like in a clothing store or something. I don't know. I wasn't too sure that was. So I managed to get like a cook's job anyway. So yeah, you basically start off, at least in this game, kind of like at the bottom rung of sort of wage earnings, basically, and then you can go to university and just like spend your time during your week kind of working towards a degree for that, and then gradually you'll go to the employment office, get a new job, etc. But you got to make sure every week, which is basically every turn, you make sure that you eat at least once, and that after 4 turns that you pay your rent, and there are various things in between that you can do, like get some new clothing to smarten up your appearance, to make sure that you can get another, like a better job, and you can get various things like for your house, like fridges and freezers and televisions and stuff like that, and you can go to the bank, I think, and probably get out some kind of loan. Or it's like, to be honest, all that other kind of stuff seemed a bit peripheral, kind of non-important, and I'm just kind of like, all these scenes are kind of cutting in between. But here's the rent office, and you can have your standard sort of rental apartment, or you can have your like security apartment, which I suppose prevents you from being broken into more. But really, this game was kind of boring. I played it like 2.5 to maybe 3 hours in one stint, because I couldn't find where the save feature was on this kind of old DOS game. So I said to myself, well, I'll play it towards the seeming end. The end never seemed in sight, even when I was like, I had the best job in the game, and Jones was a little bit behind me, although I was playing it on easy. And so yeah, you see things like this, like less time due to hunger, and rent is due and stuff. So there are varying constraints on you, but it's just kind of a bit dull. I mean, I can easily say after that 2.5 hours, 3 hours, I will pretty much never go back to it. And that's not just because it's a 1990s game. There are other games that are classics that I can go back to and just say, that was a lot of fun. But this one wasn't like that. It was just kind of dull and going through the motions every turn. Go to eat, go to work, go do a bit of education or whatever, and that was it. And I really can't recommend this game at all. It's just wasn't all that fun, and which is a shame, really, because I don't know what the hell I was smoking when I enjoyed it the first time around. But that was then, and this is now. So I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10, and that's me.